Greetings out there in YouTube land. This is Morris Man, and as always, I thank you guys for coming to my channel. Today I'm going to do a response from one of my subscribers. He sent me an email and he asked me could I do a brief video on the topic at hand that he left me to discuss and to help him out with, because he's just starting to play the guitar and he wants to know what he needs to work on and things that don't waste your time with, because there are some things that you're told to do but it's kind of a waste of your time, you know. So I'm going to read a portion of this and then I'm going to respond or give my commentary. And it reads like this. It says, if you could do a short video on how to practice switching in between chords and also practicing the rhythm strumming. I have learned some of this with my 5 months of lessons I have taken, but I still have a hard time, and I would like your take on how to improve these skills and also how long should I practice, considering I have a busy schedule every day but still want to improve. Also, if playing chords slow will get me there, give me finger independence. Just a short video. Your DVD series were very good and I need to know. So basically that's his question. And let me kind of address them in sections, because here he says, let me see, how to improve my skills. Also, how long should I practice with a busy schedule? I don't think that that's something that anyone can answer but you, because everybody's, skill sets are different. As far as being a quick study, there's some people give it to them today and they practicing. Then the next thing, there's some people that take a little longer, but down the line they become more, better players. Because I gotta interject this story in it because it's funny, and I think people kind of just sometimes throw stuff out there to kind of entertain people, because we've all heard the story of Robert Johnson, who's considered one of the greatest blues players that ever lived. That one day he went to the crossroads and made a deal with the devil, nonsense, and he became a much better player because he traded his soul in for his playing skills. It's real simple, and maybe the truth is boring and the lie or embellishment is very entertaining. It's real simple. He went somewhere, got taught, and he came back a better player. Maybe he came back a real good player because he was a quick study. Because I give you a good example of this, and this is true. I was watching it. You can, pull up this DVD. It's the Funk Brothers, Standing in the Shadows. It's a DVD documentary of the Funk Brothers and how they started. And they've played on more hit records than the Beatles, Elvis, the Stones combined, and plus some three other people that you can throw in there. And the keyboard player, the first guy, because the second guy was Earl. They call him Chunk of Funk. He was the second piano player and music director, but it was the first guy. I forgot his name, but if you watch the video, you'll see it. And I'm not making this up. He said that when he met Stevie Wonder, Stevie Wonder was little. He's a little guy, and they called him a little Stevie Wonder. And he said Stevie Wonder used to hang around him, and what you doing? He said flat five with this on the top and whatever. So he said that Stevie could play a little bit. He said 2 years later, and it was about 2 years later, because Stevie Wonder was hanging around with a guy named Clarence Paul, who I think also co-produced some of his early stuff. And the keyboard player for the Motown said, or the Funk Brothers said, Stevie Wonder came back in like 24 months or 2 years and was playing better than him. Okay, so it got shit to do with making deals with the devil. It was basically some people just pick shit up much quicker than other people. That's it. That's it in a nutshell. But that whole Robert Johnson thing's just some nonsense. It's like, he went down there and he met with the devil. Okay, believe that if you want. But anyway, getting back, because I just had to stick that in there. But as far as the practicing thing, that's just something that I don't think, again, no one can tell you. You kind of know what you need to work on if you're not improving quickly, because again, you're not going to master this in 6 months. You're not going to master this in a year. Now, within a year, you should be kind of comfortable with your guitar enough to play a little bit, but you're still a long ways away. And I'm not trying to discourage anybody, because it's going to be worth it, because once you nail it down, it's nailed down for a lifetime. Once you get your bearings, you're good for the rest of your life, and you just only get better, because I've been playing since I was, 13, 14, and I'm better than I was 5 years ago. And if I'm still around in 5 years, I'm going to be better in 5 years than I am now, because it's just a learning process, anything, not just music. So that's the answer to that question. I can't really give you a set time, because you know more than anybody how much practice you need to improve and get better. Now, this other one's a really good question as far as where it says, let me find that, because that was a really good question. Okay, it says how to practice switching in between chords. Now, that's a good question. And when you're having problems with that, it's kind of obvious you're still at the beginner stage. Just got to keep practicing. But here's the thing, slow it down. Don't try to tackle a song when you're new at this, at the timing of the song, because like this gentleman here, he's having problems switching in between chords. That just simply means that you got to slow it down first. Once you get your bearings as far as, okay, I can switch between there and there along playing the record, I'm good. So that's the key, or the answer to that question. If you're at that stage, which is considered the beginner stage still, just slow it down. Because at the beginning, I had the same problem. I'm like, okay, and I'm slapping up, jumping over here, and and I'm not hitting the fingering right at the time that it's asking, the record has asked you to make these switches. Now, when you're playing gospel and mainly jazz, that's going to take a while, because within a couple of bars, like say for instance an R. Kelly song, you got like 4 bars to switch between the next chord. But with jazz, it's like every other count, you're on another chord. I mean, jazz, you're moving all over the place quickly, so I can totally understand that, because even the intermediate player have a hard time, playing jazz chords and making all these chord changes, within that song. So the best advice I can give you regarding that, and it's real simple, it's no magic bullet or magic information that I can give anybody and say, yeah, in two days I'm playing even better. Just slow it down. Because again, if you're having problems switching between chords, while you're playing, just slow it down. It takes a while to get familiar with your fingering, the voicings of chords. And it then depends on how difficult the chords are, because for me, it's not that difficult, because the majority of my playing is based on bar chords. Now, when I do jazz, I do have to do some open face jazz chords, because there's some jazz chords that you can't put in bar chord form. It just ain't gonna happen, so you have to learn them. And there were a handful of jazz open chords that I had to learn. I couldn't get around them. I couldn't throw a substitute chord up in there to make it work, because it wasn't gonna work, but for the most part, just slow it down, and and you will improve. And then as far as the strumming thing, slow it down too. Everything has to be slowed down at the beginning. And there's some people that can do it quickly within a short period of time, but most of us, it take a while. It took me a while. And then you have to also remember this, and it varies from person to person. The chord that I have a problem with is the E, and I should have brought my guitar in here. It's the minor ninth chord root on the A string. Now the root on the E string, I can play that fingering and voicing all day long, quickly. But that particular voicing, the voicing of the minor ninth chord on the A string, for me personally, I have a hard time with that one. So sometimes what I would do is I wouldn't do all of the notes in that chord, because if I'm playing in the complement of another guitar player or keyboard player, that one note that I take out, nobody's going to notice. Now, if I'm playing it by myself as say for instance, a ballad with a singer, and it's just me and the singer, yeah, I better work on something. I better try to figure something out. But when you're playing within the confines of accomplishments with other musicians or other instruments, you can kind of get away with that. Sometimes you have to make personal adjustments to the rules as far as, again, playing certain chords. You say, hey, well, I play this chord, but I sneak out one of the notes because I'm having a hard time doing the fingering. Just like when I play major chords on the A string. And it's not that I can't do it, it's just that no one's noticed it. a lot of times I won't even play the root note because the bass player is playing the root note. So I just play the other notes where I don't have to, use actually two fingers. I just use one finger to bar the main chords in that major chord right on the A. So I hope this has been helpful. And basically, the bottom line is just slow everything down. I mean, slow it down real slow and then build it back up. Same thing with your rhythm. Slow it down and just get a feel for it. Because what has helped me as a rhythm player, and that's mainly my, main strength as a musician, I think it comes from dancing. I love to dance. Or should I say, when I was a teenager, I loved to dance. Every Saturday night, you find me at a high school dance. Then when I got older, I went to the nightclub, and then I danced until, I got too old enough, or should I say, at some point in time, you meet somebody, you leave the nightlife thing alone, or you go out with them. But it's really important, and people might laugh right now when I make this statement. Dance. Just dance. Put on your favorite record and dance. Feel the rhythm. Because long before I started playing the guitar, I felt the rhythm. And when I started playing guitar, I already felt the rhythm. I said, now I just got to apply that to my hand, my right hand, or left hand, whatever the hand you are, left hand or right handed. And again, people might laugh when I say that, but if you haven't really mastered that, because I got some guys that I grew up with, I don't like dancing, man, I'm too cool to dance. And they're musicians and their rhythm is off. It's not locking in because they never went out there and just felt the rhythm. Even if you don't want to go out to a club, just go in your room, turn on your little favorite radio, CD, close the door and just dance. Feel the rhythm, because that's what it's all about when you're a rhythm player, feeling the rhythm. So I'm going to sign off now, and I hope this has been helpful to my subscriber and all the subscribers that are beginning guitar and, having issues with strumming and the strumming pattern, because I'm going to say this quickly, I'm going to sign off. When I was taught formally how to play the guitar, and I was reading music notations, they have a little arrow, down, up, meaning stroke, up, down. I stopped that because I'm like, I got to feel it. And sheet music does not always capture the feel. Matter of fact, up in the upper right-hand corner, I don't know if they still say this, I think they do. It'll tell you what tempo and what type of feel this song should be. And that's all they leave you with. After that, you're on your own. So I never really, again, signed up for that up, down, up, down. So no, I need to feel this. And when I feel it, it's going to even be better as opposed to this metronome robotic feel. You don't want this. You want, moving, feeling it, body moving to the beat, instead of this metronome robotic feel, play, No, you don't want to do that. So I'm going to sign off now. Until next time, take care and thanks for watching.